What's going on? It's your host, Super Gaming here. Today, guys, we're back. We're going to talk about how to set up an Elgato capture card with a next-gen console. What you need is a monitor, an actual capture card, a next-gen console, and also a device to plug it into. If you have a monitor that does 120 Hz refresh rate, the capture card that I'll tell you to get is the HD60X, as this capture card is designed to do variable refresh rate pass-through. If you're not a person who cares about that and cares about looks of the quality, you can get yourself for a lot cheaper that's been out for a while, the HD60S Plus. Now, this capture card records and captures in HD quality. You can use things like HDR mode, and what it's specifically good at is capturing stuff in 4K resolution. If you're a person who uses optical audio, you can get yourself an audio extractor, as an audio extractor can be used to use things with the optical cables. So this it uses a HDMI pass-through that goes directly into the console. Your other thing would go directly to the capture card that then runs directly through the cable, which is just the USB, and then this is powered by another USB that runs directly to the back of here into my USB hub that then allows you to use the device with all of its power. Now, optical audio devices include things like the Astro A50s and the A40s, and then also the old Arctis Pro wired and also Arctis Pro wireless. Now, if you decided to get something like me where I got the Arctis Nova Pro wireless, you don't have to deal with a thing like optical audio when it comes to those devices. It's pretty important if you're wanting to run a setup the way how I do with my Goxlr, as I'll link in the description the last video that we did, all you need to know about the Arctis Nova Pro wireless, where I went and discussed about how to set it up with the Goxlr and how to be able to use things like a Chatlink cable. Then you can be able to talk to your friends in an Xbox party, be able to talk to people, so then you can make the most out of your audio equipment, so you can have some fun with some gamers. Now, a reason being why you don't want to connect the audio extractor into the back of the Xbox and plug it into your computer instead is because of one thing, and that is power management that's going through the pass-through through all of the cables. If you are going to plug the audio extractor into the back of the Xbox, then that essentially wipe out the Xbox because of the fact that there's so much power being used from the audio extractor for it to be able to be turned on, and then you use it for the actual device. Now, you can use things like a USB hub with the Xbox that can use for multiple sources and such like that, but I'd be careful what type of wattage those sources do. For instance, I have this little floating headrest over here, and it is a nice RGB floating headrest. Doesn't use a lot of wattage, and because it doesn't use a lot of wattage, I decided to go and use it running in the setup into the back of the USB hub. And then also what I got plugged into the back of the USB hub, I've got plugged in the cable that runs directly to the back of my controller over here. And then we've also got the cable that is plugged into the Arctis Nova Pro wireless that's at the back over here on the docking station. Now, the reason being why we got that is so then we can go and plug in the keyboard and mouse, so then we can play games like Fortnite. If you know that you want to play Fortnite on the next gen console, you need to have a wire plugged into your controller, because you don't want your controller to be dying mid-game, because it just can be really annoying. If you guys are wanting audio with a chat splitter, so one of these, you plug in this wire, the longest cable, into your capture card, and you plug in this cable into your controller, and you plug in this part into your headset. Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to set up the Chatlink cable with the software within the 4K capturing utility, so then you can be able to hear your teammates' volume. Well, first of all, install the 4K capture utility software. You can install this from going from Elgato's website on its links in its downloads page, and there'll be a whole bunch of lists of different utilities that can use different type of software. For instance, there is different software for the Elgato key lights, there is different software for the Stream Deck itself. There's this own individual software that's designed for the capture card. Once launching this up, go into the setting card in the top right hand corner, and then go into devices. Within audio, select
analog audio. Now, this will be able to pass through that sound that was the one that's coming from the headphones. So then you can be able to hear all your friends. Also, remember, like, to press these ones down at the bottom to unmute the audio sources. So then you can hear all the sound that goes through into your capturing once you're done with it. You can also do this within OBS, but it would be first to do this bit in the 4K capture utility software. And then within OBS, all you need to go into would be advanced audio properties, and then just select the correct source, which would be the Elgato capture card. And if you can't hear it, just go on to monitoring and output, and then you should be able to hear what's going on.
If you want this to be set up like this, it will not pick up the sound from your microphone that is going from the headset back into the capture card. It only picks up the sound of your teammates. Bearing that in mind, if you're wanting to set this up with a capture card, buy yourself a USB microphone, like either Yeti or something like a starter, like a Snowball. There's a whole bunch of new microphones that are good for the price. There's things like the Razer microphone that's for cheap, is really good quality, that works. And there's a whole bunch of new lineup of USB microphones that I really like. When I got my USB microphone, there wasn't all that much lineup. There's now a lot of different microphones that are there. And there's things like the Beacon microphone, which is a really cool new microphone that uses EQ, where it just matches with your voice and it changes itself your independent variables. And I really like that idea. Now, boys, I'm going to change our point of view, and we're going to go into the accessories over here, and we're going to go into the settings mode, into general, and we're going to go into the TV and display options and tell you how to set it up with the different variables that you can use, such as how to set it up with HDR mode, and then how to set it up in 4K, and then also how to set it up for the variable refresh rate pass-through.
As far as settings with a Chatlink goes, if you're a guy who plugs in your controller a lot, you can use a ground loop isolator that can be used to stop the humming sound if you get noise in your controller. And if you're a person who's just wanting to get a Chatlink cable that's designed for this type of feature, just get the new Elgato Chatlink Pro cable, and this has a ground loop isolator built into it that you can toggle to switch on and off. Now, boys, we are going to go into our settings and show you all the different things of how you can change these abilities on the fly of what is going to be used with your capture card. So, boys, straight away we go into our settings over here, boys, and we go into TV and display. And then the first thing you can see at the top here is our resolution at 1080p and our display refresh rate at 120 hertz. Now, if you have a monitor that supports the refresh rate that goes to a variable pass-through, change it to 120 hertz. If you're a person who likes ultra high definition quality, you can use things like 4K. It's mainly if your monitor supports the ability. Device control, this is what you can choose on your console, what happens when you do stuff with the things. 4K TV details, this will tell you all the different things what your TV can support. Calibration TV, this is once you've gone into your settings, it's good to calibrate what's going on. General video modes, this is all the abilities of having things being supported. So for instance, I've got allow 50 hertz on, allow 24 hertz. You can change these other settings. Allow HDR mode, this is high dynamic range mode, so it's only some TVs that can support this. Allow Dolby Vision, that's also only some stuff that supports it. Video fidelity, this is the general settings if you want to change for highest quality. The settings that I would tell you to do, guys, is you'd go into HDMI mode, you'd go into color depth and change this to 36 bits because that does like the best high quality, and then keep this on standard. And then once you'd do that, you'd calibrate your TV, calibrate HDR games. So this is if the thing supports HDR mode, you'd then go and change that. Put those settings all correctly like that. So, boys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys are new to the YouTube channel, please do remember to like and subscribe. I've been your host, Optical Gaming here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. See you all later. Goodbye.